The Dallas Cowboys rookie wide receiver. That is shocking everyone at training camp. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Jalen Scott has been impressing the Dallas Cowboys and the rest of the NFL. In the 2023 NFL Draft, South Carolina saw 5 players be selected and are now taking part in their respective teams' training camps. One of the drafted Gamecocks who is off to a strong start in training camp is wide receiver Jalen Brooks. Brooks, who was selected by the Dallas Cowboys in the 7th round of the draft, has been seen hauling in multiple catches as he competes for a spot on the 53-man roster. Brooks was signed by the Cowboys on a 4-year, $3,922,360 deal with a $82,360 signing bonus. In an interview posted on the Dallas Cowboys YouTube page on August 2nd, Brooks detailed how he is trying to stay level-headed throughout camp and is happy to be in the position that he's in. "I am very level-headed," Brooks said. "I don't get too high. I don't get too low. That is something that I learned going through a whole lot of adversity. I am not nervous. I'm not excited. I am just level-headed. I am exactly where my feet are." One thing Brooks mentioned that has helped him throughout training camp is learning from the older players on the roster as he works to learn the playbook. "Just getting really familiar with the playbook," Brooks said. "We have a lot of installs and just picking the brains of the older guys. They have been very helpful throughout the process. They help build confidence in me, just coming out here and just executing." Brooks said he has been playing everywhere at wide receiver, and although that might be hard for a rookie during training camp, it is something he wants to do. "It is really a want to," Brooks said. "You have to want to play all of those positions, and that is something that I want to do. Just being able to learn really fast, and that is something that I do have a gift of, is learning really fast. I am a visual learner. Once we go through it, once we walk through it, once he gives me a couple of notes on what to do and what not do, that helps me out a lot." Brooks took a look back at his collegiate career and is thankful for his experience not only at South Carolina, but each school that he attended. "My journey, like my receivers coach at South Carolina explained, I am a journeyman," Brooks said. "I moved a lot when I was younger as a kid. I went to 2 different high schools, 3 different universities. I've been all over the place. But like I said, I gotta understand different backgrounds, and I have been able to integrate with a whole bunch of other people." Brooks said that journey has him ready to compete at the game's highest level. "It is more like I am starting as a freshman, but I have a lot more knowledge now, know what to expect," Brooks added. "I am so grateful that I played at a D2 and I played in the SEC. It has shown me the different talents and the different hunger that each person has. That is something that I am grateful to be a part of." Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy has been impressed with the former South Carolina wide receiver during training camp. "Very impressive," McCarthy said in a press conference on August 2nd. "I think when you look at him, he definitely has the structure and the stature that you look for in the red zone. This will be a day where the one-on-ones and the space is tight, the holes are tighter. The competitive throws are pretty much happening every time we throw the ball. I think it definitely plays into his skill set." The Dallas Cowboys made 8 selections during the 2023 NFL Draft as the team focused on filling roster holes and bolstering different positions in hopes of getting over the hump during the upcoming season. Dallas drafted a handful of different prospects on the final day of the draft. That includes former Southern Miss defensive back Eric Scott, who got the call in the 6th round. Scott fits the mold of what defensive coordinator Dan Quinn likes in the secondary: tall and long corners that can make plays on the ball. So far in training camp, Scott has been proving Quinn right. The first-year defensive back is listed at 6 foot and weighs just under 200 pounds. He's a physical player that can not only play in the secondary, but also contribute on special teams, which is so important for late-round draft picks in making the roster. Scott has been turning heads and catching attention in multiple ways in camp. He even had the first interception during training camp and has continued to make plays. It was more of the same for Scott during the team's latest practice. He deflected a pass that was intended for fellow rookie Jalen Brooks and even earned some recognition afterwards. Dallas Cowboys reporter Kyle Youmans tabbed Scott as the team's MVP from the latest training camp practice. Youmans explained that the rookie was productive in special teams portion, continued with solid coverage on defense too. The second story is ex-Raiders first-rounder claims to be in free agency talks with Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys became the center of a somewhat bizarre free agency story after a former Las Vegas Raiders corner said he was in talks with Dallas. Nearly 2 years removed from his last regular season appearance with the Raiders, Damon Arnette is claiming he and the Cowboys are in contract talks. It's worth noting that Arnette made this claim while speaking to media on August 7th after pleading guilty to 2 gun-related misdemeanor charges. The former Ohio State star, who was born in the Dallas area, said he was traveling to speak with the Cowboys after the court case concluded, according to My San Antonio. "If I'm blessed enough to get another chance in the NFL, then I'm going to kill that," Arnette said. "I've learned a lot. I'm remorseful about everything. I appreciate and respect another opportunity. I'm a better man than I was." While it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that Arnette could get his second chance with the Cowboys, a follow-up report has quickly made Arnette's comments seem dubious at best. Shortly after the comments from Arnette went public, SI.com's Mike Fisher addressed the story with an update from an anonymous source. The short of it is that there appears to be no real foundation to Arnette's statement. Additionally, an NFL source tells CowboysSI.com that he has no knowledge of a scheduled negotiation between Arnette and any NFL team, which we take as a polite denial of an outrageous claim. Fisher's article reads, "The source from the update isn't necessarily saying that Arnette hasn't had any conversations with the Cowboys or other NFL squads, but there is definitely nothing on the books for Dallas or other teams. This could be Arnette trying to generate media buzz or attention in order to set up his return move. But there's also the chance that he's exaggerating early conversations he's been having as he moves past the court case." Arnette had plenty of hype when he was first entering the NFL heading into the 2020 season. A 19th overall pick in that year's draft, Arnette had played 47 games with Ohio State over 4 years, registering 22 passes defended and nabbed 5 interceptions in the process. Unsurprisingly, Arnette took a starting role as a cornerback with Las Vegas as a rookie. He didn't light up the NFL, however, registering just 2 passes defended over his 9 appearances, according to Pro Football Reference. A thumb injury ended Arnette's rookie campaign in mid-October as the Raiders placed him on the injured reserve. When Arnette returned for the 2021 season, however, he had lost his starting job and did not make a single start for Las Vegas that year. A groin injury forced him onto the injured reserve again after just 4 games. Those would end up being Arnette's final appearances for the Raiders, as videos of him brandishing firearms hit the internet while he was recovering. Las Vegas released the now 26-year-old corner on November 8, 2021. Zack Martin's holdout from Cowboys training camp has been one of the biggest stories in the NFL world the past few weeks. Unfortunately for Cowboys fans, it doesn't sound like it's going to end anytime soon. This Friday, NFL insider Ian Rappaport addressed Martin's ongoing contract dispute and provided an update on some of the league's most notable players holding out of camp. "I don't get the sense that we're close to a resolution with any of the players holding out," Rappaport told Pat McAfee today. "Zack Martin with the Cowboys, standing on principle. He's been the highest-paid guard for several years, but he looks at the market and feels he's undercompensated and is taking a really strong stance." The third story is former highly touted Cowboys player gets bad news amid murky future. The Dallas Cowboys face some difficult decisions regarding roster cuts, with no position as highly contested as cornerback. Dallas's acquisition of Stephon Gilmore this offseason has put pressure on young cornerbacks Kelvin Joseph and Nahshon Wright to have an impressive training camp in order to earn a roster spot. But Joseph has had an underwhelming training camp, aside from his ability to contribute on special teams, according to The Athletic's John Machota and Saad Yousuf, who labeled Joseph among the players trending down as preseason action begins. The top of the cornerback depth chart is Diggs, Gilmore, and Bland, Machota and Yousuf wrote on August 11, 2023. Next would be Lewis, Nahshon Wright, and rookie Eric Scott. The Cowboys love what they've seen from Joseph, a 2021 second-round pick as a special teams player, but he hasn't done enough to stand out as a defensive back. Joseph was a highly touted prospect in the 2021 NFL Draft after starring at Kentucky. The Cowboys selected him with the number 44 overall selection in the second round, and the former Wildcats corner entered Big D with lofty expectations. He has been unable to meet this expectations. He played in a combined 26 games over his first 2 seasons, started only 3 of them. Joseph earned a dismal 49.2 grade from Pro Football Focus last season, just 1 year removed from notching a respectable 71.2 score during his rookie season. Joseph still has 2 seasons remaining on a 4-year, $7.7 million rookie contract. He is slated to have a $2.1 million cap hit this season, and the Cowboys would take a $1.5 million dead cap hit with Joseph's release. Yet Joseph's future with the team remains uncertain for non-financial reasons. Gilmore, Trayvon Diggs, and Darren Bland are all locks, with veteran Jordan Lewis also being a question mark. Joseph is fighting with Wright and rookie Eric Scott Jr. for one of the remaining cornerback roster spots. It is never a good sign when the owner calls out a player through the media. Yet that is exactly what happened last December when owner Jerry Jones candidly said it's time for him to become a man when discussing Joseph. "It's called go time for Joseph," Jones said during a December 9, 2022, interview with 105.3 The Fan's K&C Masterpiece.